Hello traders, this is the weekly forecast for the week starting from the 17th March. Here we are on our website. We start top right, weekly forecast tab. Last week was very turbulent, with different swift and sudden moves. Euro and Kiwi got stronger, and Kiwi received the interest rate increase as widely expected by the markets. And stock markets fell due to very high resistances hit, especially the DAX and the UK 100 delivered very good profits, and that what we have identified in our live trading algorithm. Gold went through the resistance that we had some doubts about, but it simply slipped through 1350, and now it's really heading higher and higher. We do see some more upside. It's wiser though to just to wait a bit for retracement. A lot of events this week from Germany, the typical economic sentiment and other indicators from US. Very important is on Wednesday the Federal Reserve decision, and then New Zealand GDP. So most probably we will see some moves, either corrective or again bullish moves for the Kiwi. Most probably the strongest currency this year. Then something from Japan, from the governor, and other indicators from US. Right, let's have a look what happened on the technical charts last week. So we do see euro on a weekly chart. On a weekly chart, basically breaking the resistance 139, and even on Friday it gave the sign of possible reversal. It didn't occur. We just advised possibly to enter here. It never went down there. So I think really euro is going up and up like the New Zealand dollar. These are two strong at the moment. You see the same pattern. You have higher highs, higher lows. The same for the daily chart. This is a quite significant rejection. I do see some potential of the pair to go down. Sorry, that's not exactly the one I wanted. Right, this is the reaction. It can go down up to here. It can go down even deeper depending on the economic calendar, the figures. But it's not really worthy. It's against the trend. It's very strong counter trend. I don't advise people to take such a risk, basically. Right. So it's indeed a major level. We'll see what will happen right then. What else happened in our trading agora? I was saying, let me have a look. I think we spotted at least 4 good trades. We spotted the DAX short. We're not gonna go through it. You can look somewhere else. Then also internally there was a trader basically that came up with a very good short trade on a yen pairs, and then we have running dollar, ZAR, South African rand, and Australian dollar. Right, so let's look at this week. This week we have basically 3 major setups. One is Australian dollar long. As you see, we have a relatively nice relatively nice inside pin bar, which is this one, rejecting this level, which is relatively important support, and rejecting also the EMA 21, which is this one actually. So all this together makes quite a confluence for the pair to go up. So let's clean a bit this because it's becoming a bit messy. We are advising entering here. We are advising entering here, and stop loss ideally would be below the inside bar, but it can be a bit above, below the pin bar, because it's a pin bar this time. And I would take profit around here already. There is a possibility of going above, let's say near the EMA 20 to 100. With regards to the EMA 200, we do prefer the Aussie, so Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. It's very similar setup. If you look at that, it looks very similar, but it has better confluence. The better confluence lies in the fact basically that the EMA 200, which is very important, the moving average is the average of the price over 200 trading days. It's right here, and it's possibly rejected. Then you have the setup looks slightly better also in terms of risk reward, but besides that, which is very similar, you have the very important correlation and relative strength. We are buying on another setup from last week. We are buying dollar versus Canadian dollar, so we are buying that. So in this case would be much more let's say logic to buy Australian dollar and sell Canadian dollar, which would be much more consistent than buying Aussie, Australian dollar, and selling US dollar. So we quickly have a look at the we quickly have a look at the graph that we are talking about. Basically, last week we had spot dollar, Canadian dollar on a weekly basis. It made a very nice pin, I must say, a bit far from the EMA 21, but still a relatively good one. At the time it's in profit, just by a bit, I would say. It's basically nearly break even, but it's not, let's say, in loss. But it does show that the dollar might recover against the Canadian dollar. So right, so these are the two setups, and then there is a third, which is basically something we have already spotted in our trading algorithm on a daily basis. It's the dollar South African rand. So basically dollar is losing grounds a bit all over the place, and there is no exception in the emerging markets currencies. So South African rand is relatively emerging market, consider it, and we see a weekly pin bar, which is almost an inside bar, and after a strong rejection here at this level. So it is relatively likely opportunity, but it is different minus. Let's look at the minus, and of course we do not want to trade things that are not 100% I would say sure. There is nothing sure 100%, but at least 100% checked and approved. My bad, sorry, this is my mistake. So basically here you see the counter, the counts. It's not ideal because broadly counter trends on a weekly basis, counter trend. You see, it's going up. So It's too close to the EMAs. Indeed, it's too close to the EMAs. We see that it's not ideal. The EMAs are just here. It's a bit counter trend, and the risk reward is very, say, minimum. This is to show you that there are setups and setups. This one might play out, might deliver money, but it's a bit on a risky side. The other two are much look much better. Nothing is sure, nothing is certain. That's why we have an edge. We have to develop an edge to avoid surprises. Then we are still very much short on oil. We want to see a retracement around 100 area, and gold we want to buy at 1365.70. Let's see what happens first. And US dollar, Canadian dollar, we said already we are keeping our position and we want to add to it. So let me just show you the gold and dollar, and oil. We have been talking about the gold since, I would say, at least a month, but it's going better and better. It's going higher and higher. So weekly was an explosion last week, basically. We do see now next resistance around 1400, the psychological level. It's very likely to be hit any soon now. On a daily basis, the ideal would be basically to see a retracement around this level. You see that this level has a lot of confluence. It's a support, plus it's the very first EMA 8, and it would be good to just hit this support, price action, and buy it again. So 1365, more or less. So last but not least, the little surprise, oil was a hit because production is exceeding expectations. So guys, be ready. Your fuel, your gas should be cheaper. Highlight should be, although of course. But this is the idea. We want to really to sell, I would say, blindly around 100. You see the importance of this level. This level is simply too good to be true, too good to be left. There is resistance support here. There is the EMAs are basically crossing just there, and it's also, I would say, 36% Fibonacci from here. We're not gonna go into that, but if people trade Fibonacci, this will be 0, this would be 100, this will be 50%, and this most probably 38%. I think I wrote it the other way, but people who do trade know exactly what I mean. Basically, there is 1/3 of retracement from the bottom, and this could be again a very good opportunity to sell. And next target might be basically the gap here around 96. So let's clean this thing. Just to be once more clear, we want to sell around here depending on price action. Stop will be most probably above here depending on price action again, and we do see potential, the price potentially going around 96 next turn. Right guys, that's it for this week. I do hope you enjoyed and you took notes, because next week we're gonna go through the results, and we do expect some positive outcome, as the last 2-3 weeks were very good, I must say. So keep it up and good trading, everyone.